so deep in your water, vision blurry, vision blurry. We're going on to vision blurry, vision blurry for the weekend blurry. I don't need a vision blurry,
Hey, what's up guys? I'm k.Mcfall. Welcome back to yet another Final Cut Pro tutorial. As you can see, I am not in my studio right now. I am traveling, but I have been getting a lot of questions on how I did this masking transition effect. So I thought, why not set up the camera and make a tutorial. So here we go. So as usual, I'm using Final Cut Pro X on the MacBook Pro 2016. And I'm just simply going to use the clips from the beginning of the video just to show you guys how I did it. So for the first clip, it's very important that you actually shoot some type of object that fills up the screen. It just needs to be able to make a sweeping motion and cut the clip in half so that we can show one clip on one side and a whole different clip on another, if that makes any sense. So basically in the clip that I have a sign that passes from left to right. And what I plan to do is shift from the clip of the ships on the left to the clip of my wife walking through the alleyway in Mykonos on the right as the pole was passing by. So for the second clip, there really isn't anything specific that you need to have in it. It's just really the next step in the story, well, in your story that you're trying to transition to. So I went ahead and chose this clip of my wife just because I think it looks pretty cool in slow motion. The next thing you want to do is go ahead over and select the draw mask and go ahead and drag and drop that onto your first clip. Alright, so once you've done that, you should see a prompt on the bottom left that says click to add a control point. Well, before we do that, we're going to go ahead and move that object I was talking about that you're going to need to the point where there's just a little bit of area visible on either side of it. So for me, I'm looking to create a transition to the right of this sign, so I want some of the area beyond it slightly visible. So the next thing we're going to want to do is zoom out of our clip just a tad bit. I'm going to go ahead and select 50%. And now we can start to create our control points. So we want to start above our clip and then outline the object that we're looking to use in our masking effect. And don't worry, it doesn't have to be perfect. If I were you, actually, I would leave a little bit of room because we're actually going to feather it down a bit. And then just simply trace along the outside of the clip. Alright, so once you're done outlining your clip, head over back to the context of the draw mask and we're going to go from composite to original, just so we can see the entire image. So the next thing we're going to want to do is go to the transforms drop down and create a keyframe beside position and control points. So if you actually click the drop down on control points, we can see all of the different points that we created in our clip. After you've created your keyframes, head over back to your clip, and now we're going to start inching through it. So using the directional arrows on your keyboard, just go ahead and shift over one frame at a time. And as we do that, we're just going to simply drag our mask over one by one. And you want to keep going all the way until the object is completely out of the frame. Alright, so now if you move back through your timeline, you should see that our draw mask is keyframed to the object that we have in our clip, in my case, this sign. So the next thing we're going to want to do is we're going to have to go back through each frame and pull the back of our draw mask back out of the clip completely. Alright, so go ahead and set it back to the beginning. And the next thing we're going to want to do is move frame by frame again to the point where the rear of our draw mask starts to overlap onto the clip itself. And once it does that, you can just go ahead and select the line between the two control points and start to pull it back. Alright, so once our object is completely out of the screen, you can go ahead and scrub back through the clip again and make sure that everything just looks right. And so far, everything's looking pretty good. So next, we want to go back to the very beginning. And as you can see, we still have areas of the clip that aren't tracked as the sign comes into the frame. So what we're going to do about that is we're going to start to where our draw mask is tracking our object, and we're just going to go the opposite direction and do the same exact thing that we've been doing with our control points. Alright, so once that little bit of space is completely out of the screen, you can scrub through your clip and just make sure that your draw mask looks right. Alright, looks pretty good. So the next thing we're going to do is go ahead and stack our first clip onto our second. And then head over to the context of the draw mask and select composite, invert mask. So now when we scrub through our clip, we should start to see the effect take shape. So I can just go ahead and play it. And as you can see, the other side of the first clip is completely masked out so that we reveal the second. However, if you look closely, you can see that there's still a lot of sharp edges in a few parts of the first clip that we don't want to see when we're transitioning onto our second. So we're going to head over back to the context of the draw mask and look for the feather tool, start to feather down those rough edges. Looks pretty good. Alright, so if you unselect the draw mask, our control point should disappear. Now you can go ahead up to the zoom again and pull it back down to fit. And now I'm just going to play the clip from the beginning and see how it looks. Alright, looks pretty good. So that's pretty much how you do the effect. If your feathering and your control points weren't perfect, it's okay because you can always just go back and adjust them just a little bit more. So I really hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial, and if you did, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. I've got more videos to come, so I hope you stick around. Until next time, see you later. When I woke up this morning in the haters' world, found me,